So, is work life balance really a thing, or is it something that we've made up that we're trying to achieve that we're never going to?
You in the past, I'm in the future. You mad, they don't salute you. I need a bag.
Thank you all so much for clicking on this video. If you're new here, my name is Keela Trishan, and I make videos on lifestyle, insurance, and mental health. I also do vlogs, day in the life in the insurance industry, day in the life with a toddler, all the things. So if that's something that interests you, go on ahead and click that subscribe button below. Be sure to turn on your notifications so you don't miss anything from me. And if you're returning, thank you so much for coming back, and thank you for your support. Okay, so spoiler alert. I don't really think that there is a such thing as work-life balance, but I do think that there are ways that we can still work and get what we want out of our lives. It just takes a little bit of finesse and it takes a little bit of creativity. So I wanted to kind of talk about today what I do to create work-life balance. If you are new here and you don't know who I am Keela. I am a full-time insurance adjuster. I work in the field at a major insurance company, and I am a homeowner's property adjuster. So I go out, I write estimates for, damages to homes, and I pretty much juggle all of that 9 to 5, along with having a small child, a husband, and a household to run. With that, I try to carve out a social life. I try to work out. I film YouTube videos, and I try to cook from home. Now, there are other things that I like to do, but trying to fit everything in one day a lot of times is just unrealistic. So I wanted to give you guys some tips on how to achieve this thing called work-life balance, some things that have worked for me. Hope they'll work for you too. If you're interested, if you're struggling in this area, or if you're just simply curious to hear my take, definitely go on ahead and stay tuned. Okay, so jumping right in. First off, let me just address it. There's some construction going on outside. I don't know what they got happening, but I'm gonna try to buffer that out as much as I can during editing. But if you hear it in the background, I apologize in advance. But my first tip is going to be to figure out what you want your life to look like. I don't think that it is really possible to figure out your work-life balance and to, create this life if you don't know first what you want it to look like. Are you the type of person that wakes up really early and, you want me time before you start work? Are you the type of person who'd rather get to work early and have more time on the back end? I know one thing for me regarding work is I purposely choose jobs where I don't have to work major holidays. So in the insurance industry, most companies are going to be closed on New Year's, on Christmas, Thanksgiving, Memorial Day, 4th of July, all of those things. So I know if nothing else, I'm going to have those days essentially built in. Along with my PTO, I have those major holidays built in. So for me, it's just knowing that like on these days, most other people are off too. So I can participate in family events, which is very important to me. I can socialize, or I can just simply use it as a day to just chill because I know that my job isn't open. For some people, that's not the biggest thing for them. They don't mind working holidays, but maybe they want shorter hours, or, maybe they need flexibility because they do something else, like they're trying to pursue something else. So they need that flexibility and they're okay with working holidays. So I say all that to say, just basically figure out what it is that is important to you, what you want your life to look like, and build your work and build like your activities outside of work, and build it around that. It gives you just kind of like a better idea of how to start and how to be creative with what you want to get out of your day to day. All right, you guys. So my second tip is going to be to prioritize. I think for most of us, work is kind of a given. Like that's how we make a living. That is how we are able to do all of these cool things outside of work. So work is a given. I know that I'm going to be working 7 to 4, 8 to 5, something of that variation. That particular schedule works for me. Most things, like most people have business hours. So those business hours work for me because my son is in school, my husband's at work. So kind of aligns with his schedule and it aligns with my baby's schedule. So it just works out perfectly. Now, I do, like I was saying before, I like to have a fitness routine. I also like to cook at home. Those are two things that are extremely important to me. I also know though that I don't plan on cooking every day. And if I'm cooking every day, I might not be able to get my workouts in. So I like to kind of plan days where I'll do one or the other. So when I'm cooking, I try to make sure that I'm making a big enough amount to where I have enough for this meal, but then I also have leftovers for the next day. So if I want to do a longer workout, or if I want to do something else, if I want to clean something up, if I want to do some self-care, I don't have to worry about cooking too. I have the food already ready to go, and that's not something I have to worry about. Same thing with working out. There are going to be days where I want to do a longer workout, or I want to do a certain type of workout. Maybe I need to leave the house to do that workout. I'm not going to be able to leave if I have something else that I need to do, like if I need to clean up, or if I need to, again, like prepare food or whatever. So I try to make sure that, like, when I'm looking at my day to day, I prioritize what I can realistically get done in that day, and this obviously has to be worked around my work schedule. So right now I'm not doing morning workouts because my morning is so hectic. I realistically am not able to get that done right now. So I typically will prioritize my workouts for the evening. So that means I need to be logging out of work at a reasonable time so I can make that commitment. You've been here for a while, you know, with my last job, I struggled with that because I was salary and the workload was crazy. So a lot of times my work life was like pretty much impeding on my personal life. So a lot of things that I like to do, I was not doing, hence why I got another job. But yeah, so I try to set up my day to day to where I can kind of fit in everything that I want to do, but I'm, you know, realistic about it. I know that I'm not gonna be able to cook every single day. I know I'm not gonna be able to work out every single day, but as long as I can get things in there that I enjoy and that fulfill me, I feel like I've had a successful day. So make sure that you're prioritizing the tasks that you know you want to complete. Okay, so my third tip, very simple, but can be very tricky as well. But plan ahead. Now, I say this because I think that sometimes we think that work-life balance means literally being able to work and get everything done within the day that you want to do, and get enough sleep, and get enough water, and get enough whatever. And a lot of times that's not possible. You gotta, you know, just really look at each day and figure out, okay, what can I do this day? There are going to be times where I may have to work a little bit longer, and so I might not be able to do those things. But if I'm not able to do something that I wanted to do on a certain day, I'll plan ahead to make sure that I have time on a weekend or another weekday to get whatever that is done, so I still have that balance. It cannot be all work and no play, because that makes you sour, and who wants to be sour? So I make sure that I try to like look at what I have planned for the next day so I can plan accordingly, which helps me like in turn just get what I need to get done. There's something that I need to do for my son, for example. Like around the holidays, he had a couple of recitals, and I wanted to make sure that I was there because most of everybody else in my family was at work, but I do have that flexibility of working from home. So I knew that since I was going to be going to his recital, I was going to have to work a little bit later, but that was okay because that gave me, I was basically able to plan ahead to make that work, you know? So I did what I could before the recital, and then after I went to the recital and got him, I did what I needed to do after that. That was also a day where I knew I couldn't work out, you know? So a little bit of give and take, but every day is not going to look the same. But if you plan properly, then you'll be able to fit in everything that you want to fit in. Okay, so my fourth and final tip is to be realistic about your capacity. There are going to be days where I'm going to get it all done. I'm going to work all my hours. I'm going to work out. I may still have time to cook. I might even wash my hair. And then there are going to be times where I don't do any of that. There are going to be times where I literally sit around all day and don't do nothing. And both days are important to have. That's where the balance comes in at. You have to understand that you are not a machine. So you might want to do all of these things, but let's be real. Energy is finite. You do have to find time to recharge. And some days you're going to need a little more rest than others. So make sure that you're working like the rest and those days where they're just blank into your schedule too. That's where the balance comes in at. Actually, we're just not made to just go, go, go. We are not the Energizer Bunny. So you do have to just be realistic about what you can and cannot do. If you are a parent, then you have work, and you also have like your parental duties or your life duties or whatever. So you're gonna have to still work yourself in, but then know that there might be days where, you know, maybe there's like a lot that you have to do for your kids that day, or you know, told your spouse that you were going to do something for them that day and you're not able to get to what you need to get to. Don't try to like cram everything in. Understand that this day is dedicated to whoever. It might not be you, but then make sure that you make up for it on another day. So just, you know, kind of look at your calendar and be realistic about what you can and cannot get done in a single day. All right, you guys, so that's all I have for you today. I really hope that this video helped, and I wanted to discuss it with you guys because I have struggled a lot over the last few years with a work-life balance. And as you guys know, I have a son that is about to be 4. So when you have a child, things change. So a lot of times the routines I've had have changed. Like, what I do now is different than what I did when he was a younger toddler versus what I did when he was a newborn. Like, each stage is different. I have a best friend that has a teenage daughter, and her routine now is different than what it looked like 10 years ago, So you're going to have to tweak your life depending on the stage that you're in. But it is important to try to carve out what looks like or feels like to you a work-life balance, because it can't just all be about work. It can't just all be about taking care of others. You still have to pour into your own cup, and you have to include yourself in the priorities. So again, hope this helped. Hope that you guys found some tips that maybe you didn't think about. If you have something that you do to ensure that you have work-life balance, be sure to talk to me about it in the comments. If you like the video, definitely go on ahead and click the like button. That really helps with the YouTube algorithm. If you have not already subscribed and you made it this far, please go on ahead and click that subscribe button below. Turn on your notifications so you don't miss anything from me. And with that being said, you guys have an amazing day, and I'll see you next time.
You in the past, I'm in the future. You mad that they don't salute you. I need a bag, size is super. They turned your back, it's like I never knew you.